My last name is Iati. I-A-T-I. 4 letter.
I-A-T-I.
Now, it's a Greek name. And so, go back to, I had one of my brothers was a priest, and he died. And he traced our family tree. And at that time, I didn't even know we had any Greek in us. We didn't know. My dad never talked about it, And so he traced our family tree and got it all down pat. And at the time when the Greece owned Sicily, and a lot of Greeks moved into Sicily, and we married an Italian girl, and then from there on in it was all Italian. And of course I can't say 10 words in Greek or Italian. I just don't have those languages. I quit school in North Bay. It's my hometown, North Bay, Ontario. I just walked out of the classroom and went down and volunteered. I was 17.
Now, what year was that?
That was 1940.
So you were right at the start of the war?
Yeah. So I went down. When I got home, my mother blew her top, and God bless her, she died. She was 49 when she died, just after I come home from the war. And she said, I'm going to call them, you're not of age. And my dad was a veteran of the First World War. He says, you leave him alone. I lied for a year. I said, I was born in 1922, and I told them I was born in 1921. When I come out, they shipped me out to the 86 Canadian Bridge Company. And that's the company that I landed in France with and went all the way to Germany.
So you saw a lot of the war.
Oh, yes. I lost some of my best friends here. Do you recall Kenny Reardon used to be the defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens?
He was before my time, but I know the name because my father's talked about him.
Yeah, terrific guy. He was my corporal during the war in the 86 Canadian Bridge Company. And he was, they gave him a medal. And they had to stand, and the whole regiment was there, and the brigadier come along and put them out. Now there was two, it was me and another dispatch rider that they put on the stand. They had a platform built up. And I remember I forget the lieutenant's name, he said, I'm putting you two in for mentioning dispatches. Well, the guy that has the most rank is the guy that gets the medal. I said, I could care less whether you do or don't, And but he never did. At least I never got it anyhow, But Kenny and I were very good friends even after the war. I moved to Toronto. And at that time, they didn't have the glass, just the boards, and the front rows were all taken up by players' wives, and because each player got 2 tickets, And Kenny would always give me the 2 tickets. Now they'd come out when the team first comes out, and of course Kenny would skate over to where I'm sitting. And then Richard would come over, and they'd all come over, because we're playing in Toronto, and they were bitter enemies. You have no idea how many fights I got in. I come home a very mixed up kid. Well, we were all kids, at that time. Not only mixed up, I just I lost some of my best friends. I just start to wonder why. None of us, I don't think the majority of us all thought that we'd ever come home. We're going to get killed over there. And in the meantime, now we come home, and your best friends that you were in there with, and you start wondering, why me? Why did I get home? Like my closest friend was Bill Heather from Galt, Ontario. He had a wife, nice wife, one little boy. And after I come home, I went to visit him, and they wanted me to stay. His wife wanted me to stay overnight, and she had her brother-in-law there, and I said, no, I didn't come to have somebody come up with a scandal that I'm trying to get lucky with my best friend's wife. I came to say hello, and I give the kid, he was about this, I don't remember whether it was $20, but I give him some money anyway. And then I never went back to see them because it hurt to see them, My other best friend that I had was Hudson, Johnny Hudson from Perth, Ontario. He went into the Air Force, and I'll never forget. I went to visit them, and we were fooling around, playing outside, and I ended up in a puddle of mud, and my uniform was all. So he gave me one of his uniforms, and we took mine in to get clean. The only difference was he was a flying officer, and I was, at the time, I think I was a corporal, and we'd go into town. I stayed a couple of weeks with him, and we'd go into town, and they'd put me in the outside so I'd have to take the salute. I said, if I ever get caught in this uniform impersonating an officer, I'm going to be paying for it, I went yesterday, me and Terry, to their school. And it's such a pleasure to go and see these kids paying homage, Not to us, because one guy says to me, oh, you're a hero. I said, no, son. I'm here. I'm no hero. The heroes are all still buried back there. We left them behind. They're the heroes. And then he wanted to know what the medals were, and I told him. And when you see kids like that paying homage to the veterans, it makes it all worthwhile.